Your life as every rank of online poker pro. Rank 1. The Freeroll. You are 16 years old, and you are watching Lex Veldhouse stream on Twitch, and the only thought in your head is, I could do this. You cannot legally play online poker in the United States. Black Friday, April 15, 2011, killed PokerStars, Full Tilt, and Absolute Poker for American players a decade before you knew what poker was. What's left is the offshore market. America's Card Room, Ignition, Bovada. Sites licensed in Costa Rica, Curaçao, Panama, operating in a legal gray zone where the Department of Justice has, since 2011, declined to actively prosecute individual players, but reserves the right. You open an America's Card Room account using your older brother's name and driver's license photo. He is 23. He has agreed to this transaction in exchange for $50 and silence forever. You deposit $20 in Bitcoin from a Strike account you opened on your phone in the bathroom at 1 a.m. Your first free roll has 7,400 entrants. First place pays $250 in tournament dollars. You play 17 hours, finish 47th, and bust holding pocket nines against pocket aces. You make $1.40. You re-enter the next free roll 40 minutes later. You are not playing for money. You are playing for the feeling that happens between when you commit your stack and when the river card falls. This will, in 8 years, be the only feeling you can no longer reach without a $5,000 buy-in. Rank 2. The Micro Grinder. You graduate to NL2 at 17. NL2, no limit hold'em with 2 cents big blinds, is the lowest stake on any online site. The buy-in is $2. The player pool is, statistically, the worst players on earth. Pure amateurs, drunks, people on their phones during commercial breaks, foreign players from regions where $2 is a meaningful amount of money. A good win rate at NL2 is 15 big blinds per 100 hands. Hand volume matters more than edge. You play 12 tables simultaneously on a 27-inch monitor your brother bought you for Christmas. You use Hold'em Manager 3, $99, to track every hand. You use a HUD that displays each opponent's statistics in a small box above their seat. VPIP, PFR, 3-bet percentage, fold to 3-bet, aggression factor. You play 1,800 hands per hour. You play 50 hours a week. You profit, on average, $304 per month. Your hourly rate at NL2 is $1.42. McDonald's pays $15. You do not care. You are not in this for the hourly rate. You are in this for the equity curve. You have read Doug Polk's coaching site. You have watched 340 hours of YouTube content from Upswing Poker, Run It Once, Jonathan Little Poker, and a Brazilian grinder named Mr. Agro who streams from a one-bedroom in Sao Paulo. You moved to NL5 at 18. You moved to NL10 at 18 and a half. Your bankroll, by your 19th birthday, is $4,200. You have not told your parents. Rank 3. The Low-Stakes Reg. The first time you make $5,000 in a month, you sit on your bed at 4 a.m. with the spreadsheet open in front of you, and you do not move for 40 minutes. You are 19 years old. You play NL50, 50-cent big blinds, $50 buy-in, 8 tables simultaneously on ACR. Your win rate has stabilized at 7 big blinds per 100 over a 300,000 hand sample, which the variance calculator on the Run It Once forum tells you is statistically significant at the 95% confidence interval. You are, in the technical language of the player community, a real winner. You also discover what every real winner discovers in their first profitable month. Most of your profit is not from edge. It is from rakeback. ACR's rake structure is 5% capped at $3 per hand. Across the 240,000 hands you played this month, you generated approximately $11,000 in rake. ACR's Elite Benefits program rebates a percentage of that rake back to you based on your monthly volume tier. At your current tier, the rebate is 41%. You received $4,510 in rakeback this month. Your actual edge over the field generated $490. You are a rakeback grinder. You are subsidized by the house in exchange for hand volume. This is the structural truth of online poker after 2018 that no training site advertises. The pros do not beat the players. The pros and the house split the players together. You learn this. You do not stop. You move up to NL 100. Rank 4. The Postle Inflection. You were 20 when you watched the Postle Hands, September 2019, a live-streamed cash game at Stone's Gambling Hall in Citrus Heights, California. A mid-stakes player named Mike Postle is making call after call against incomplete information that no human player should be able to read. Veronica Brill, a poker pro and Stone's commentator, flags it publicly. Joey Ingram makes a 14-hour podcast about it. The poker world fractures. The civil lawsuit alleges Postle was receiving real-time information from a confederate in the production booth, transmitted through a vibrating device. The lawsuit is dismissed in 2020 on legal technicalities. Postle has never been criminally charged. He has also never returned to professional poker. You watch every hand on YouTube, twice, then a third time. You learn that month the central truth of every game you will ever play online. You cannot see your opponent. Everything you don't know about him, whether he is using software, whether he is sharing a screen with 3 other players, whether he is one of 3 accounts being operated by the same person at 3 different tables, is hidden. You learn the term real-time assistance, RTA. Software that runs alongside your poker client, ingests the game state, computes a GTO solution, and displays the optimal move overlaid on your screen in milliseconds. RTA is banned at every site on Earth. RTA is also, by every public estimate, used by hundreds of mid- and high-stakes players who've figured out how to evade timing-based detection. You are not using RTA. You are not yet considering using RTA. You are also, after Postle, no longer playing under the assumption that the player across from you is human in any meaningful sense. This changes how you play. This changes how you sleep. Rank 5. The Solver Convert. In month 32, you spend $1,499 on PO Solver. PO Solver is the original GTO solver, a program that takes a poker scenario, runs millions of iterations of game theory optimization, and outputs the mathematically unexploitable strategy. It has been the foundational tool of high-stakes online poker since 2015. It is also, in 2020 and after, no longer the bleeding edge. The bleeding edge is GTO Wizard, $99 per month, cloud-based, with pre-solved trees for every common spot in cash and tournaments, and simple post-flop, and Munker for multi-way and PLO. You subscribe to GTO Wizard. You subscribe to Upswing Coaching. You join a Discord study group of 7 mid-stakes regs who pool $200 per month each into a shared PO license and meet on Zoom 3 nights a week to review hand histories. Your monthly software spend is $640. Your off-table study hours exceed your table hours by month 4. You play 30 hours a week. You study 35. You learn the language, mixed strategies, range advantage, equity realization. Donk lead frequency in OOP scenarios with a polarized range. You no longer think about hands, you think about nodes. Every decision is a node in a decision tree, and every node has a solver-approved frequency, and your job is to play that frequency over a large sample so that no opponent can adjust to you profitably. You move up to NL 200, NL 400 at month 40, NL 1K at month 46. You are 22 years old. Your bankroll is $84,000. You have moved out of your parents' house and into a 1-bedroom in a building with a doorman. You tell your mother you do crypto. Rank 6. The Geo Arbitrage. The largest player pools on Earth are not on ACR. They are on PokerStars, post-2011, only available in regulated U.S. states like NJG, MI, PA. GG Poker, the global market leader since 2020, based in the Isle of Man, blocked to U.S. players. And a constellation of European licensed sites that command higher volume and softer pools than ACR by an order of magnitude. You set up a Geo VPN, a residential VPN, not a commercial one, which sites detect, routes your connection through a real residential IP in a country where GG Poker accepts players. You pay $89 per month for a dedicated Romanian IP through a service that does not advertise to the poker community and that you found through a Telegram group with 340 members and no name. You open a GG Poker account using a Romanian language proof of identity that you purchased from a documents broker in Bucharest for €600. You fund the account through a cryptocurrency to fiat conversion service that ultimately resolves to a Lithuanian neobank. Your name on the account is not your name. Your IP is in Bucharest. Your hand histories are sent to a server in the Isle of Man. You are, by every term of service you have agreed to, in violation. You are also, by every realistic enforcement standard, undetectable. You play GG Poker for 14 months. Volume, 700,000 hands. Profit, $147,000. GG Poker's security flags your account in the 15th month, not for the Geo spoof, but because your IP briefly resolved to a US-based commercial VPN during a Starbucks visit you made on a Sunday morning when you forgot to enable the residential routing. The account is frozen. The balance, $34,000, is confiscated. The community calls this the GG tax. Everyone pays it. You set up a new account through a different broker. You restart. Rank 7. The Nosebleed. In month 62, you take a shot at NL10K. NL10K, $100 big blinds, is the second highest stake regularly played in 2026 online cash. NL25K runs intermittently. NL50K runs maybe 4 times a year, almost always heads up, almost always involving the same 6 players on Earth. You buy in for $20,000. 2 buy-ins, the bankroll management minimum for a single session at this stake, against a player whose screen name you recognize from training videos and Twitter clips. He is one of the German pool. He has played 2.3 million hands at NL10K over the last 4 years. He is, by community consensus, in the top 10 online cash players on Earth. You play him for 9 hours. You lose $16,400. You move down to NL5K the next day. You learn, in the next 6 months, what the gap actually looks like. The gap between a winning NL1K regular and a winning NL10K regular is larger than the gap between an NL10 grinder and an NL1K regular. The top of the pool is running deeper sims, paying for custom solver work, in collusion-adjacent staking relationships with other top pros, and, in some documented cases, running RTA so well calibrated that detection is functionally impossible. You are not on this level. You also do not stop trying. By month 70, you have stabilized at NL2K with regular shots at NL5K. Your bankroll, after a brutal February in which you lost $84,000 over 3 weeks and then won $122,000 in the following 10 days, has crossed $300,000. You are 24 years old. You buy a watch. You take a vacation to Portugal. You think, for the first time, that you might be making it. Rank 8. The Bots. The GG Poker bot scandal of 2024 was not the first. There had been previous waves. PokerStars banned 40-plus bot rings between 2015 and 2020. ACR has confiscated hundreds of thousands of dollars from bot operators across multiple operations. The cat and mouse is constant. Bots are upgraded, detection is upgraded, bots evolve, detection adapts. The 2024 wave was different. The bots were not playing autonomously. They were assisted. humans clicking buttons, using RTA-style solver overlays, but operating dozens of accounts simultaneously across multiple sites. A single operator could maintain 20 accounts at NL 500 to NL 2K, generating $40,000 to $80,000 per month in combined profit, while looking to any specific opponent like a single competent regular. You begin to see the pattern at your own stake. A player you have studied for 3 months, Kuznetsov AA, plays in a way that you cannot exploit. His timing patterns are unnaturally consistent. His sizing decisions match GTO wizard outputs to a degree that no human could maintain without assistance. His sessions begin at 9 a.m. Bucharest time and end at 1 a.m. He plays 8 tables. He never tilts. You flag him. You message GG security. They acknowledge receipt. They do nothing visible. 2 months later, in a coordinated multi-site action, GG Poker announces the closure of 437 bot accounts and the confiscation of $1.3 million in funds. Kuznetsov AA is on the list. So are 2 other players you had been losing to consistently. GG Poker redistributes a fraction of the confiscated balance to affected players based on hand history. You receive $4,800. You had lost, by your own tracking software, $34,000 to those accounts. The community calls this the GG refund. It is, structurally, a non-refund. You begin to suspect that half of the players at your stake are bots. You begin to be right. Rank 9. The Tilt. The 2-day tilt begins on a Thursday in October. You are running $48,000 below all-in expected value over the prior 2 weeks. A brutal but statistically normal stretch. You are tired. You have played 70 hours in the prior 8 days. You have also been studying with the Discord group every night until 2 a.m. You sit down at NL5K on a Thursday at 4 p.m. You lose $22,000 in the first session, in 4 hours, to coolers. You should walk away. You move up to NL10K, the internal voice that has, for 6 years, governed your bankroll discipline, the voice that says you are not playing your A game, you are not properly rolled for this stake, you are emotionally compromised, does not arrive. Or it arrives, and you do not hear it. The dopamine architecture that has rewarded you for grinding through 6 years of variance has, in the last 40 minutes, inverted. Every hand you play feels like the path back to even. You lose $44,000 in the next 3 hours. You move to NL25K, which is running rare on GG Poker, against 2 German pros and a Norwegian you have heard of but never played. You lose $94,000 in the next 6 hours. It is now 5 a.m. Friday. You have not slept. You have not eaten. Your fingers are cold. The screen has begun to do a thing where the colors slightly desaturate at the periphery, which is a documented neurological response to extreme cortisol over 12 hours. You should close the laptop. You reload. You play through Friday daytime. You play through Friday night. You move sites. You play on ACR. You play on Bovada. You play heads up against a Brazilian pro who has been hunting you for 3 months and who now, suddenly, has gotten exactly what he was waiting for. You, on full tilt, on 3 different sites, throwing money at the felt as if money is a way of fixing what has just happened to you. You lose $134,000 on Friday. You lose $76,000 on Saturday morning. You close the laptop at 11:14 a.m. Saturday. Your bankroll, as of Thursday at 4 p.m., was $314,000. Your bankroll, as of Saturday at 11:14 a.m., is $4,200. The same $4,200 you had at the start of your 19th year. You sit on the bed. You do not move for 2 hours. Rank 10. The After. You do not quit poker. You should. You know you should. The Discord group tells you gently that you should. The senior pros in the group have watched this exact pattern before, in 17 other regs over 6 years, and they have a phrase for it: the unbeatable tilt. They do not mean the loss. They mean the next part. The next part is the part where you cannot stop trying to win it back. You restart at NL 200. You play 40 hours a week for 2 months. You profit $7,400. You move up to NL 400. You profit $11,000 in a month. You move up to NL 1K. You break even for 6 weeks. You move up to NL 2K. You lose $34,000 in 9 days. You are now down to $11,000. You take a job. A friend from college has a startup. You write copy for $34 per hour. You play poker on the side, 20 hours a week, at NL 200. You make $1,200 per month profit. You make $4,800 per month at the day job. You are 25 years old. The Discord group has, by month 4, stopped messaging you in the main channel and started messaging you privately. They are, in the language of people who have watched friends ruin themselves slowly, checking in. You respond cheerfully. You tell them you are studying. You tell them you are running good. You are not running good. You are running, statistically, exactly like you should be running at your stake, which is to say, narrowly profitable, eating variance, watching your equity grind out one big blind per 100 hands, while the rakeback subsidizes the difference. You are no longer a pro. You are a hobbyist with a spreadsheet. In month 9 of the new arrangement, Tom Dwan plays on Hustler Casino Live for the first time in 6 years. The stream peaks at 197,000 concurrent viewers. He wins $1.8 million on a single hand against a hedge fund manager. Galfond comments on it on Twitter. The clip is shared 41,000 times. You watch the hand at 2 a.m. in bed. You feel something you have not felt in 11 months. The next day, you withdraw $4,000 from your day job savings. You deposit it on ACR. You take a shot at NL 1K. You lose $3,800 in 2 hours. You close the laptop. You sit in the dark. You understand, finally, without ceremony, without an epiphany, without anything to tell yourself that will make this easier in the morning, that the game you fell in love with at 16 no longer exists. The pool is bots. The edge is software. The rakeback is the only real money. The dream is a Twitch clip of a player who flew to Los Angeles to play in a televised cash game because the online game cannot sustain him either. You do not delete the ACR account. You leave $200 on it. You tell yourself you will play sometimes. For fun. You will not play for fun. There is no playing for fun after. You log off. You go to sleep. The day job starts at 9 a.m.